Hey buddy, this is just a test to ensure there's no echoes. Hey everyone, and welcome to the live release of our new MyBroker Pro multi-tool. It's been long awaited. A lot of you know that I've been working on this for a long time, so I'm pretty excited to bring these tools and new features to brokers across Canada. But first I'm going to start a little bit with, who is MyBroker Pro and who is Sarah Matu, the person kind of behind the scenes, along with introduce my team later on. So let's start with myself. I've been a broker for about 8 years now. I started as a broker, transitioned to the bank as a commission mortgage specialist, and then came back to the broker channel when my husband decided to join me. So we've kind of learned the ins and outs of the broker industry, and I found myself falling more in love with the marketing side of things as well as the business development, which was how MyBroker Pro was born. And since then, it's really evolved with whatever brokers need. I've been working with brokers, 400 or 500 brokers across Canada, and as they need new things and templates and training and coaching, whatever it may be, I love just either showing them what I already know or learning with them and sharing that with you guys. So MyBroker Pro has seen a series of evolutions throughout the years. It really started out as just a marketing company, which was social media templates mostly for Instagram, Facebook, and that kind of stuff through Canva. And if you're looking for some of those packages, we still offer those as well, but that's a separate video and cost as well. But for now, this new multi-tool is free for users for 365 days. So yes, a full year, so that you can get established, whether you're coming from an existing CRM or other tools that you want to integrate into this one. The idea is to replace a lot of these subscriptions that brokers have to have. And as you know, if you have multiple subscriptions, that can add up quite a bit monthly to $200, $300, $400, $500. Some people I've talked to is as high as $1,000 just in subscriptions for different things they need to navigate their mortgage broker business. So that's why we're giving it for free for a full year. Like I said, if you're already established somewhere else, that gives you time to consolidate, slowly move things over at a pace, make sure that it's working right for you before you pay for yet again another membership. But if you're new to the industry, what I learned as a new broker, I didn't get access to a lot of these tools, especially a CRM, until I was probably in year 3 or 4, because one, I simply couldn't afford it. I didn't quite understand how to navigate the systems, and it really wasn't something that I integrated into my business, like I said, until year 3 or 4. So I want to give everybody the opportunity to have access to some of the best tools in the industry, again, all for free for a full year. So first, I'm going to go through a couple common questions that have gone up before I show you what the system looks like. A lot of things people are asking are, is it really free? Yes, it is really free. The only thing we do when you subscribe for your new account is we do charge a $10 USD to get your account set up, but we credit that back into your account as soon as your account is open. And what you use that for is actually data charges. So if we set up the proper workflows and automations in your account, then you can use that $10 USD to send the Twilio messages and AI automations and so forth. As much as I'd love to cover all those fees for you guys, I don't want to be held financially responsible for those who send out 1 million text messages. Of course, if your business gets to those heights, I applaud you. But for now, since the subscription is free, those data charges have to be captured, and that's what that $10 USD is. So Buddy, one of our assistants, is on the call now, or on the chat as well, and he can send a link that shows what that $10 USD covers, like how many text messages, AI features, and so forth. But it should be more than enough to help you get started and especially implement some of the cool automations that we're going to show you today. Then after the free trial is up, so 365 days after you've subscribed, the monthly charge will be 97 USD. So a lot of people are like, why USD? We're in Canada. Well, the back end of this software is actually something that's called Go High Level. And if you've worked with me for a while, you know that I don't really like to reinvent the wheel. So Go High Level is a platform that is one of the best out there for all business owners to use. And we've incorporated all their features into this subscription and charged it for the lowest amount they'll allow me to resell it for. And then we're going to create it into like a mortgage broker portal, everything a mortgage broker needs in one spot. So the 97 USD per month will be activated after your free trial is up. And I'm just gonna check the chat here, perfect. After the trial is up, and then after that you'll see the charge. For now, what is not included, so we mentioned the $10 USD, is some of our other paid packages. So we have social media management, social media templates, we have presentation templates, all sorts of stuff within My Broker Pro other plans. That is not included in the multi-tool. It may be in the future, but for now we're just giving the tool for free because we have to keep the lights on for our business somehow, is kind of my running joke right now. So a lot of users I've talked to that use Go High Level already, like I said, the back end of this multi-tool system, are shocked that I'm giving it away for free for a whole year. But like I said, that integration is really important to me, giving some brokers a chance to get familiar with the system and set up properly the first time. That said, this tool is pretty comprehensive. It has so many tools and it could feel overwhelming. Some of you have had accounts since before we officially launched, and we've received lots of messages like, how do I use this thing? I don't know what to do. Where do I start? How do I get going? And I realize how exciting it all is. So we are creating additional free courses. We have one already available in our memberships only area. Again, Buddy can drop a link into our chat on how to get access to the free courses, and we have a free account set up. That said, we do have some onboarding specialists starting next week, so every user will get access to 2 free onboarding calls, which will equate to 2 hours to set up your account. If you have any issues or are having trouble following any of our free courses, you can actually talk to a live specialist. And the second one would be more used to how are you going to make this tool work for your business? Because I can create all the templates that I want, but that doesn't work for every single user. Everyone's gonna have different wants and needs, though I can provide the basics. That second call will really be about how can I make this work for me? So that's coming down the pipeline in about 1 or 2 weeks. Bon is starting with us next week and another specialist after that. So as we get ready to show my screen and show you guys what's behind the scenes, first I want to introduce my team. They've been working with me for some time now. You won't be able to see them, but they are in the chat. I'd like to do a special thank you to Dee. If you guys have been working with us for a while, you're probably familiar with her amazing Canva skills, and she does all of our social media management for all of our clients. I don't know how she fits it all in one day, and I'm so grateful for her. And then Buddy, who is actually her husband, so we've got a family working with us now at My Broker Pro, is our admin assistant behind the scenes. He literally keeps the machine of My Broker Pro running, and I don't know what I would do without him. So everybody give Buddy a shout out in the chat. And on Monday, his brother is actually starting with us, Bon, and Bon is on the call today. He's going to be our Go High Level expert and be helping with a lot of the automations and integrations for your business into the new multi-tool. So thank you so much to everybody at My Broker Pro. If you have any questions, I encourage you guys to put it in the chat, and whether it's myself or Buddy, we will reply to you as soon as we can. And just because a lot of people have asked, this webinar will be recorded and we will send it out to everybody after it's done. And I encourage you to follow us on our YouTube channel because you'll be able to find this in the YouTube live section. So if you have any issues even with today's webinar, you can always navigate directly to our YouTube channel to watch it live there as well. So our plan and our overall goal is to share a lot of these tools and resources with you. And we've got so much training lined up weekly, and including in 2 weeks from now, we actually have an SEO expert coming to talk to us about how to increase your SEO, which is one of his paid services. But he's going to be providing us with some free funnels and tips on how to utilize Go High Level, which is what he uses, our multi-tool, to create ads and funnels and get some leads going for your business. So lots of really cool partnerships happening. Our community, our broker community, as you guys know, is pretty amazing. We've come a long way where everybody is just sharing this information. So if you guys do want to do something together and collaborate in the future, we want to provide some extra services to our brokers, please connect with me so that we can include you in one of our future trainings. So with further ado, let me just move this over. One of the questions we keep getting as well is what webinar software I'm using for this. So we actually are using YouTube Live, and I'll show you guys how to integrate that into your system as well. But there's a bunch of webinar options in this feature. Like I said, it's made to incorporate all those memberships. So if there's something you're like, hey, can I get rid of this, and does My Broker Pro offer it? We'll look into it and see if it does and show you how you can use it and hopefully eliminate yet another subscription. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to app.mybrokerpro.ca. You can see it here, and you'll log into your account. To get your account details, you'll have to register for a new account, and Buddy will send you your login credentials as well as a temporary password, and he'll have the link there for you to connect that $10 USD if you haven't already. You'll want to do that because that's what will trigger a lot of these automations for you to use for some of your workflows later. As soon as you log in, you're going to be kind of greeted with this dashboard center. So we're in my demo site as we speak, so not a lot going on in here other than our testing environment. But you can see once you have your mortgage software set up, so right now we have an integration with Finmo only, but we are working towards the other ones because they have API and REST hook possibilities, so we will have that future. But as you all know, I love Finmo, so Finmo was first on our list. So you can see your leads will move through the pipeline as they do in your Finmo system, updating your funnels and your dashboard accordingly so that you have a really good overview of what is going on in your business. The really cool thing about this, compared to some other CRMs I've worked with in the past, is that you can actually have multiple dashboards. So I do encourage, and in our test environment right now, we're creating dashboards for not only current like active leads, like people who are working on deals in your system, but also realtor leads and financial planner leads, like things, a different dashboard so you can see where those leads are coming from, how many of them are converting, so that you can focus your efforts on things that actually turn into business. So utilizing multiple dashboards will be a really cool feature in the future as your whole account kind of evolves into working for your business. The next thing you're going to want to do is go to the launch pad. The launch pad will help navigate you towards what the next steps are on setting up some of the features of your account. So you're not going to set up all of these, but I encourage the majority of them. The app that you can do is really useful because you can pretty much have your whole My Broker Pro account on your phone. The app itself is called Lead Connector, which will eventually become a white label version of My Broker Pro, but for right now it it will show as a lead connector. So some people use this on their phone and it's so great. You can start and activate automations, you can add people, you can add contacts. It's really a one-stop shop. Like I'll show you after this, the conversations tab, everything is right on your phone with the ability to work on the go from this system. So I believe that's going to be one of the only tools in our mortgage broker industry that actually allows that mobile feature so you can work on the go. All you have to do here is send yourself a link. The full window is this, there you go, is this better? Hopefully. I was asked to zoom in. So from here, you'll send yourself a link and it'll actually text you how to download the app. Go into your Apple or Android store and download the app. And just making sure my screen is okay for you guys here. Then next, you're going to want to connect your Google My Business. I know that's a tough feat in the mortgage broker world, and we can connect on that later because I just was successful in connecting mine a couple of weeks ago. But it is a great feature to have because then you'll have some reporting and all sorts of great features with Google My Business, including membership, reputation management that will help you send and receive 5-star reviews, hopefully, and kind of incorporate those into your workflow. Here, generate leads from your website. This is connecting a web chat. Of course, you're going to want to have a website in here, whether that be connecting through your WordPress, adding a custom code, which we can help you with, or creating your website with us, because again, this will be able to help you eliminate having a website elsewhere. Sorry, I'm just checking on the chat here because I was told it's not working. If you guys are having issues seeing the screen, like I said, this is on YouTube, and it could just be that you need to go into the full mode view. Picture when you're watching something on YouTube, there's those 4 squares in the bottom. If you hit that or turn your phone sideways, if you're on your phone rather than your computer, you should be able to see the majority of the screen from there. I'm just going to wait until I see. Okay. Just adjusting my screen so that you guys can see it. I think it's a me problem, not a you guys problem. So bear with me a second here. Bear with me, everyone, as we kind of get this. Here we go. Okay, hopefully that is better. For some reason it's not capturing my full screen, so thank you guys so much for telling me that, and hopefully you can see it a little bit better now. Okay, so let's keep going. I'll kind of navigate over what I quickly touched on in case you couldn't see it, but you'll be able to text yourself a link here to download the mobile app, and it'll slowly work you through connecting some of the things that are available on the site. That said, not everything is going to apply to you and to your mortgage business. So for example, Stripe likely won't apply to you because you're not collecting any payments. This Yext is a different feature that is available. It's almost like another resale product that Go High Level offers, and it's to add you to 52 different portals to increase your SEO on different sites. We're going to touch on that in a couple weeks when the SEO specialist joins us. This is an extra feature, and in the extra features you can see how there is an app marketplace. So those are things that are not included. They're just things that Go High Level has integrated into their platform that could help your business in addition to all the other tools. So majority of them are not going to be required, but if you want to explore some of them, definitely encourage you to, and then we'll definitely touch on those one by one in different webinars. So, WordPress, you can bring your WordPress oversight for $10 a month, and we can discuss that if you want to bring your WordPress over, or save some fees by having your website directly in the High Level or MyBroker Pro portal as well. If you want to add team members, you can add your team here for your admin assistants or anybody else. Right now we're allowing up to 3 users. If you need anything in addition to that, please let us know. But the idea is that it'll be for you, 1 account for 1 mortgage broker, and then if you need an assistant or a social media specialist or anything like that, we can open those up as well. But the platform works best if an account is per individual per business, okay? So after we navigate the launch pad, you can go down to the dashboard. We already went dashboard, conversations. This will be once you have a lot of different clients in your system, but you can actually do all your emails, text messages, voice drops, recorded phone calls, everything you do with that client, you can set up so that it goes into one inbox, which is huge in our industry. If you're constantly looking at Facebook and Instagram and your email and all sorts of different things are firing at you with conversations, text messages from your client, it's so nice to have a unified inbox where you can communicate with your client, go back to reference things. You can even BCC yourself on comments and deals with your Finmo so that everything is landing in one spot for tracking. A lot of brokers really like that feature to be able to keep track of everything like that. So you can see where these are coming from, Instagram, and all sorts of different areas you can integrate. We're just going to take a break, and I'm going to fix this issue with the full screen. Thanks. Okay, gotta love technical problems, but I think I got it fixed. So there's a slight delay between me and the live, and please comment once you can see the full screen. I'm using a new tool called OSB, and what it does instead of some of the other cool webinar features is it allows you to share your screen and obviously your camera and go straight to YouTube Live and have the features of recording and everything like that all for free. So I'm gonna wait until, nailed it, perfect. Thanks, Raymond. It looks like I had it zoomed in. So my apologies, everybody. Let's keep going. I know you guys are busy brokers, so let's get to it. Okay, so from here we're in the conversations tab, and you can see different conversations, where they came from. This is again my demo account, but it happens to be connected to my social accounts as well. So you can go to and from, create messages from here, who you're going to send it to, and if it's going to be an email, a text message, and scheduling, all sorts of cool features right within here. You can integrate it with Gmail. Mine's integrated with Gmail, but Outlook and everything is pretty much integratable. So feel free to do that. You get a quick overlook of the client as well, and yeah, one great spot to see where everything is. And I'll show you how to integrate that in a bit, but we're just going to go through all of these different ones on the side. So from here, calendars, as you create different calendars, webinars, discovery call meetings, all sorts of different stuff, you'll see it here. Again, you'll be able to link your existing calendars, check for conflicts, and put everything in one spot, which is going to be awesome. I know for myself, I have multiple calendars, but for other people who are really looking to own in on some of this automation, like sending out a discovery call link, or maybe an annual link for mortgage review is part of your close sequence after you've closed a client, and you want to make sure that an annual review goes out, you'll want to name those calendars different things. So that's a view of your calendar. And again, this is my demo account, so there's not much in here, but you can create appointments from here, and you'll be able to see all listed appointments in this section as well. So once you have that, you obviously will integrate your settings, and Buddy might be having trouble with his chats, but also what we were going to include at the very bottom here, you can go to the hub, and the hub will bring you to all of our courses. So if you're like, how do I integrate my calendar? We've already created a 10 video on how to set up the basics of your account, so you're gonna wanna check that out. Or if you're struggling with that, like I said, you can do the one-on-one discovery calls. So from here you can see I created a couple calendars. You can group them together so that you can share an overall view of what those calendars are, so that the client can pick which type of meeting they want, or you can give them just the one calendar. So this will look familiar to a lot of you, but what's nice is now it will be all in one system. So from here you can see the logos added, different settings, and again I show you that in the how to create this course, but easily picking different meetings and appointments. And then what's great is your automations behind the scene will remind people of the upcoming meetings. They'll give them the option to reschedule or cancel, and put them in different workflows to make sure that you capture those leads wherever they are. So lots of different use cases for calendars, including, I'm not using this feature today because we're live on YouTube, but also including the option to create a class booking, which would be used for webinar. So it's like a one-to-many approach. You can actually own in on what type of webinar it's going to be, add a specific date, make it recurring, all sorts of different cool things. And again, when we get to the automation features, you'll notice that it has already some pre-built automations for webinars and meetings and everything like that. So the calendars is going to be huge for our industry to make sure that you've got a good business flow for calendars and booking up that all the leads into your day and filling your day hopefully with new leads. Contacts is a great way to keep everybody in one spot, and then from here you can actually import your existing client base. So from here, you'll want to create what's called a CSV file, and it'll show you how to do that if you go to ready to be imported. I've done this myself from my existing CRM to here, and it was actually pretty simple if you follow the steps. But again, if you have any issues, you can reach out to us. Once you upload the file, it will bring it into here. In our courses, I'll explain a little bit further on making sure you add a column for tags. And what tags is essentially a great way to organize those clients. You know, is it a realtor? Is it a client? Is it a first-time buyer? Did they reach out via a webinar? You're going to want to add a bunch of tags to these people so that you can narrow them down when you're wanting to reach out to a specific group. Opportunities. Again, this is where you'll find your pipelines. In your account, this will be empty to start, but as we finish up the testing with our Finmo users, we'll be able to give you a template so that you can use everything that I've created so that everything is automatic for your Finmo deals. But if you're wanting to create one manually, you can go here and create new pipelines. So you can see here, if you watched my social media, we had like a missed call text back workflow. You'll want to capture, missed call leads and put them through a pipeline. Then you can do that. You can navigate different pipelines here. In my other account here, I'll go through this one after. I also have a pipeline for like realtors, different names, so that as leads come in through a form, it'll automate different things like a hello text message, here's my application link, and so forth. And it'll add that, it'll tag it to the realtor who gave it to me and put them in their own pipeline. So again, a great way to stay organized, manage, see a high level view of who's sending things and how you're getting leads. From here, payments, I've opened it up to everybody. I've opened up all the features of high level behind the scenes here in our multi-tool, though this isn't really something that you'll need for your mortgage broker business. I kept it in there because there's a lot of mortgage brokers who are offering paid courses, different types of products, templates. So we will have eventually a one spot so that all brokers can come to one area and find, if you're looking to sell something or a course, you'll be able to add those products in here as well. I mean, the other option, I guess, is private lending if you're sending out invoices maybe for appraisals or whatever it may be, but you have that option as well. Okay, marketing is where it's going to be getting really fun for me. When you first enter this area of the platform under this tab, marketing, it will prompt you to connect all your social accounts. It pretty much has the option for all social accounts as it stands, but you can add different groups, different accounts, multiple accounts as well, like private Facebook pages, a Facebook business page, your private LinkedIn, all of those things you can put into here. And then have the open planner, which is a calendar overview of all the upcoming posts that are coming. So for some of our clients, this is the platform we're using now for all of our managed clients. It really gives them a nice overview that they can see what's coming up, or gives the ability for Dee, the scheduler, to put them into not published, but into a draft mode, so you can approve them as well. It really is up to you on how you want to conduct your flow of your post, but a great option for you to add your posts. And again, because it's free for the next year, you don't have to worry about any of the other platforms you're using, and it really does give you a good system to plan ahead for those posts, and maybe utilize our do-it-yourself package, which gives you all the weekly templates to do as well. So it's really simple to use. You can upload, there's an AI feature to create campaigns and everything for you. Again, I know this is like, wow, this is a lot of tools. We are going to go through these one by one. I'm just kind of quickly going through them because this will take us probably an hour just to go through all of the features. But it will have a lot of great uses even beyond here. The email campaigns and templates, as if you guys know me, I have about 700, almost 800 templates for pretty much everything. I've had a CRM for my mortgage business with a competitor in the past, and what I found was when I left that brokerage, I lost all my data. So I quickly put everything into a Google Doc, and some of you have even purchased our Everything Bundle. If you're with Bricks, you get the Everything Bundle for free and all my templates too. But what I quickly realized is I needed an external system, CRM, different platforms that weren't so affiliated with my brokerage, so that if I did need to leave in the future, you don't lose all your data, all your clients, all your templates, all your workflows. Because trust me, I've been there, and that process alone will take you some time. So we are slowly adding all of our templates into here. I know this doesn't look like much right now, but we do have, like, if you look at our Everything Bundle, we've got hundreds of social media posts, different assets, presentations. We've got 30 or 40 blogs. This is not all of them here. Checklists. This is all of our drip campaigns and everything. So we will be adding all of that in a basic level. And if you already purchased our Everything Bundle, we will be giving it in a more beautiful view, like a really nice newsletter view. So everything will be in there with you eventually as we create this perfect template and share it for you. You can create your own really easily. So you can go new and you can import from different ones if you're using different platforms right now, or start as blank. But our system actually gives you a ton of different templates to work with. So as you notice, as I start sharing some with you, you'll find it in this section, but there's already a bunch of pre-made templates for you to use, including if you're on our webinar page right now. That's exactly where I started. I changed the colors, changed it to my look, my font, added a couple fancy logos, and made it, what I think was beautiful for me. So you guys can go through here. There's a financial section, and really just make it and add it to make it your own. They make it really easy. I obviously encourage the use of folders, as you guys know. And trigger links, we'll get into that soon, but that goes into the automation. You can create links based on, a good trigger link idea would be having your mortgage application link. And when somebody clicks on that within one of your automations, it can then trigger a series of different things, however you decide to set it up. So they click on your link, you can say, hey, thanks for getting started, or whatever it may be. And then, as I said, we've integrated with Finmo, so you can send out different things through different triggers of that application. It's essentially like a switch. If they click on this, it switches and turns on a different function. Automations is its own beast of its own, and we're going to have a ton of training on that. And again, I know if you're not the technology type that wants to do these things yourself, some of you will, because personally I find it very fun, but others are like, no, don't, I want you to do it for me. We will have that capability as well. That'll be focused on your second call with the onboarding specialist, where you can say, like, listen, this is what I want for my business. How do I do it? What templates can I use to get me there? And then we'll do it. So you can see we've got different webinar ones and pipelines automations. This is the missed call text back that we talked about in social media a couple weeks ago. But essentially has lots of really cool features. A trigger is like something happened and now I want this to happen. So in this case, I was saying when somebody calls my number, which is in my system, then if I'm busy or I don't answer or I cancel or whatever the call, I don't pick up, essentially, this is what it's going to do. Assign a user, add it to your pipeline, send them a quick text and say, hey, sorry, I missed your call. Do you want to schedule in and book a meeting? And these are all SMS messages. So we try to keep them as, user-friendly as possible. Anything like this brings in custom fields, which is like your client's name if they're calling, if they're in their system, or your name. In this case, it says for your name. And then there's all these waits, wait a day, did they reply? If they did, this is what we want them to do. So yes, I know this sounds like it could be overwhelming, but a lot of these things will be integrated for you. We won't publish them. We'll go over them for you. They'll be started in a draft mode, go through it in great detail and show you where it ends up in the system so that you're like, oh, I get a missed call and it ends up in this pipeline so that I know, hey, I should call this person back. Or they've actually booked, the automation worked and they booked a meeting with So here you can see, you're like, awesome, great, choose a time in my calendar. And that goes back to that trigger link that I was explaining in the previous one. So again, you're like, hey, I don't want to do any of this stuff, Sarah. That's totally fine. This is going to be pretty much my job, along with some of our Go High Level experts that have joined us, and we simply will be creating these and giving them to you for free. And then you can go in further and decide if you want to change the way it looks. Maybe you really like having emojis, or you don't like the way I said something. You can certainly go in there. Every automation has the option to, set settings. You can do specific time zones and time frames. Maybe it's only Monday to Friday because you don't want a text going out at 3 in the morning. That's the scary part with automations, right? But again, we're here to coach you guys on how to use this and get it set up properly for you to use kind of going out the gate. Enrollment history, you can see Jane Doe has been very active as I was testing a lot of these opportunities. But if you follow me again on Instagram, I showed you guys how cool it was. I had my assistant call my phone and then they didn't answer, so they got my automated voice message, which you can integrate into the system. It said, sorry, I missed your call. Do you want to book a meeting? They said yes, and then they booked the meeting link and it started the automation process. And then you'd get notified, hey, you got a new lead, they booked in with you. So yes, I see Brenda saying this is going to save us so many hours in the business. Yes, it really will. Obviously takes a long time to set up, not for you guys, but for us to get the testing done. And the testing's important. That's why I ask you guys to be patient, because we don't want to hand this out and you guys be like, whoa, it's firing off a bunch of stuff that's not working. We want it to be able to work properly, so that if you integrate it, all you have to worry about is if you miss a call, it ends up in your workflows. So you can see here, they get a series of appointment reminders, they get a meeting links sent to them, they've attended the meeting or they didn't attend the meeting, or maybe they said, hey, stop sending me these text messages, they'd end up in here. Of course, we have to offer that with automations. So from here, let's go back to a couple other ones. Finmo is going to have its own series of automations, which will trigger through the course of your different pipelines. So if we go back to where they've started the application, they've sent you a completed application, you started underwriting it. An example of start underwriting is as soon as you trigger a credit bureau and you're working on the file, that client's going to automatically move into your in underwriting part of your pipeline, which is here. So in underwriting, as they move through, review complete is going to be a manual action. You're just going to go to your Finmo notes and be like, review complete, and what that'll do is push it through this pipeline. But the importance of this too, and I kind of went through this with my husband, like, oh, a manual action, not my favorite, but good practice, like a good standard for your business too, to put into your notes, hey, I've reviewed this file. So you can write review complete, client qualifies for XYZ, blah, 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 all the notes you want for yourself. Those notes will actually get tagged into this contacts, into that conversation that I was showing you, and in their contact card. So again, behind the scenes, a lot of this stuff is just going to make it super easy. Once you've submitted to lender, that's going to be an automatic one. If they're pre-approved or rate hold, they're going to move here. This is depending on the lender decision. And there is, I think I put it at, I have to add here, and this is my testing environment, but there is a declined one as well. So as they get to declined, approved, or pre-approved, they'll move into here. Client is accepted is based on when they accept the digital signature, like when you send them their e-sign package and they send it back, and then you accept that document. Excuse me. You accept that document, that'll trigger it into client accepted. If you've worked in other CRMs in the past, that as well is a little bit of a manual entry. It's just uploading the document saying you've approved it. That'll move it through the pipeline. Again, really good practice. Broker complete, you tag that it's broker complete. Close funded is based on dates. Commission paid will be a manual entry, and again, it's just adding a note saying, hey, I've been paid commission into the system. And active will be based on if the lead has not been interactive with you in a while, or hasn't responded to any of the automations in these different columns, which will be like, hey, you've been approved, or hey, it's been a while, how's the house shopping going? These will reach out to your client and realtors, all sorts of things. So again, behind the scenes, what we're building, just testing at the moment. We have the basic pipeline moving through right now, so that will work great, but we want to make sure all those triggers to your clients, to yourself, internal notifications, and to your realtor partners is accurate before we release a lot of these. So from here, each one of these will have a different, what we call kind of workflow or a campaign. So as they work through the process, it will keep everybody updated and move through properly. And payments, we're in automation. So as you can see, I've got a few in here. Again, this is just our test environment. As we work through different ones, I'll show you my account. My Sarah's account is basically, as we complete them, are good to go. But well, let's keep going into, actually, let's go into that now. Just checking at the chats, just real quick, clear. So a lot of people, this is a common question about the Twilio numbers. Maybe I'll just skip to that right now. Your email services and your phone numbers are in here. So email services, and this is all in the account setup free course. I go through setting up your account in pretty good detail. Setting up a dedicated domain, again, we can help you with this, but what's nice about that is it helps you not go to spam folder. That said, prior to me even setting up the dedicated account for my own accounts and my test accounts, very rarely, I don't think I went into the spam folder once, and the only time you get failed or unsubscribed or bounced, it'll show you. I encourage you to keep a clean mailbox, and again, I go through that in my course, because once you hit a 30% threshold, the system's gonna say, hey, you're super spammy, stop sending emails, and it actually will give you kind of a timeout. So clean your inbox. You don't want people going to spam or getting bounced or anything like that anyways. If those are dead emails, get rid of them and keep a good clean inbox. So that's kind of email services there. So again, you can link behind the scenes. And numbers is super easy. Again, I go through this in the account setup course, but you can easily purchase a number. I encourage you to add your payment details. Like we talked about that 10 USD, which will cover that. It'll go into your credit of your account. You can add a phone number here, and you can easily change this to Canada. It'll filter different phone numbers. You can further go into that. You can see these are local, and then there's 1-800s. As I explain in my course, I encourage local. It requires less behind the scenes. They have to really check the 1-800 numbers, and I always tell myself, like, do I answer 1-800 numbers? I don't, so your clients likely won't either. So I definitely encourage a local number, and you can put into here, I'll put 705, because I used to come from Sudbury. I'm in BC now, but I'm an Ontario girl at heart. So you can see here some different numbers that have 705 in it, and then 705 is the area code. So you can pick one that suits you and go from there, and then you can forward it. Again, I encourage you to go down to that HubSpot into the account setup, because I'm not going to go through all this today, but a forwarding number, you can set up your voicemail and all sorts of things on here. I show you how to do voice message, voice drops, everything in here. Okay, so number one question with this is, can I bring an old Twilio number? I already have one I've been using with a different CRM or whatever. Yes, you can. We have to allow you behind the scenes. So if this applies to you, definitely let us know, and we'll tick that box for you so that you can get your Twilio number imported. So back to sites. So like I said, automation's super comprehensive, and we will get into that in the future. Content AI, I'm not going to go there today, but what's cool about a lot of these workflows is you're going to be able to integrate AI to have actual conversations based on keywords and intent, which means, like, did the client want to book a meeting, or was the intent positive? They said, yeah, sure, or no, they didn't. It will send them through different pipelines and automations, saving you a ton of time. And I get that that's pretty advanced, but again, our experts are working behind the scenes to provide these to you guys eventually. So I'll go into automations just to show you guys some of the things that the calendars are basic ones we definitely want everybody set up with. So when somebody confirms a calendar appointment with you, they'll get a series of emails. Again, this one's pretty basic, just the reminders. Most of you guys got this for our webinar if you registered. Hey, it's starting now, click here. If they didn't show up, hey, sorry you didn't make it, or if they canceled. And webinar registration is very similar. And again, that'll be a different type of calendar, but different ways for them to click that button on and start the automations. Did they fill out a form? Did they register for the link? That will kind of push them through different things, and you can use those templates from us right out of the gate. We'll put those into your account as soon as everything is tested. A lot of this is basic and already tested, so it shouldn't be long. But leads is really interesting. We're going to have, new referral partner leads, which is essentially a form, and this one's going to be kind of my favorite. If you hear from a realtor and they're like, hey Sarah, can you give Jane Doe a call? I'm going to fill out this form, which behind the scenes is just attached to my website, and it will say which referral partner was it, which will tag their name. It'll add them as a contact to your to your system. It'll put a note if you added any internally from your form, and then it'll tag that referral partner who gave you the lead, so you can further search that later. And then it'll start a series of automations. Hey, I received your contact info from Jane, John the realtor, who mentioned you're interested in starting a mortgage application. If you want to get started, click here. If you want to start a discovery call, click here. So again, all of this is going to be pulling from details in your system. You shouldn't have to edit anything very much unless you really want to get in here and change the way that I say things. And then from here, it'll keep going and wait for a reply, and basically wait for a meeting to be booked, or in this case, if they don't answer any of this, it'll actually do this really cool feature that's called Call Connect, and it will ring the call forwarding number, so your personal business cell phone number. And then I see somebody asking about for support. Yes, there will be ongoing support. We've hired experts to work actually with My Broker Pro on this. So the Call Connect feature is really cool. It'll call you and it'll put what's called a whisper message, and the whisper message will be like, you have a new referral lead, and it'll give you the referral lead's name, and then it'll say press any key to connect. So if you connect, it'll actually bridge that call with the potential lead, and if they don't answer and you get voicemail, you can actually leave a voice drop and everything like that. So again, really cool. It won't affect your day-to-day business. You might just get a call from My Broker Pro saying, hey, you got a new lead, did you want to connect via phone? If you didn't, it'll leave a voice drop. So again, really cool, different features on just basic website inquiries. Majority of us have websites, but what happens once they fill out a form? You get an email and it stops there. Well, our goal is to make that go further into customer satisfaction with instant responses, because we know that if we don't respond to these leads within a certain amount of minutes, we might lose them, especially ones from our referral partners. We want things to be really quick. And I joke that my view on this is automation, whereas my husband's, if we both got the same lead, my husband would jot down their name and their phone number and maybe call them later from that realtor. But me, I would add them to this form and boom, it's done. The rest is behind the scenes and happening, and hopefully there's a connection or a bridged call or whatever that may be. So again, lots and lots of cool things. We could spend all day in this workflow section, but we're gonna move on because we're gonna have different calls on that. Sites, again, funnels are something where you're forcing somebody through different things of a business. You see a lot of funnels on like social media. It's like realtors use them often, where it's like, this house is listed for sale, click here, give me your email and phone number, and they add you to this funnel, which then sends them through different automations, adds them as a lead to your business, and so forth. That is a funnel. You're trying to get them to an endpoint to becoming a customer and filling out a mortgage application. So we're working through some social media assets you'll be able to use, edit as you please, and even referral partner ones as well, which is going to be more in the forms and things you can work on with your realtors. This one, referral partner name, let me just check quickly. This is the form I was talking about. As you fill out, you've got a new lead, and that will start that automation process. So again, we'll be giving you all of this. But if we go back to funnels, we have a bunch of options as well to like regenerate lists and revive lists from realtors too. So if the realtor gives the consent to discuss with their clients, and the clients have obviously given them consent, then we can put them into workflows where it's like, hey, my mortgage broker wants to reach out to do an annual review to see if you have enough equity to buy a rental property. Would you be interested? And it's actually going through a series. So again, if you guys have any ideas like that, I'd love to hear them, or something that's working or not working for your business, because hopefully our team behind the scenes can either create it or fix it and get your business rolling in a really highly effective way. Websites is, your generic website. I've started creating a template for everybody to use. So a lot of these, you can see your trusted Kamloops mortgage broker. As you enter in your business profile where you're from, Kamloops will actually be replaced with your location. So for me, my business is in Kamloops, BC, and this actually will pull the location and change it for you. So almost no need to even go into the website and edit it at first. That said, we obviously encourage people to edit their website, but I'm working on all the copy, all the apply nows will be connected to your application, so if they hit apply now, we'll go to right now the Finmo link. But if you're a different user, we can put that link to go anywhere. As long as you tell us what link you want to be your mortgage application, this will be automatically integrated. Different things, stories, you can add different photos if you want. Obviously, we encourage you to add some testimonials, some common FAQs, and everything will be pulled in from your main account. So again, really easy, hopefully, to use once you start doing it. Obviously some prompts that will tell them like, hey, let's connect. You can change all of these to, I haven't added blogs yet, so let's go into about different pop-ups on different pages. I think contact allows you to actually book a meeting as well, the pop-up, if it shows up anytime soon. So if you want to customize these or do anything, you would just navigate to your site and you would click edit, and it's super easy to use. Change colors, change fonts, add photos. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Wix. I used Wix a lot when I first started because it was cheap and easy to navigate. Well, so is this. You can see that it has the option to really change anything that you want so that it is more to yourself. So you can see here location, email. This stuff you don't have to change. It'll pull from your company. So again, we're making it really easy for brokers to integrate into the system and get started right away. A lot of brokers don't even have websites or funnels or contact forms, so this would be a really great way to get you started. So you can see here your calendar will be booked in as we help you create your calendars. It'll automatically pull it into here. You can send this link to people if you want to, if you don't have any automation set up yet. Again, take bite size, whatever you're comfortable with, to get started into the system. But obviously, I believe everybody should have a website. The link in bio is really cool. And again, if you follow me on Instagram, I was kind of talking about this because I think it's really great. The most common form of a link in bio, a lot of people goes just to their website. But this allows multiple links. Visit our website, schedule an appointment, all sorts of different things that they can use and access, a form, and then even if we stayed on this page long enough, a pop-up would come up with to schedule appointments. So this looks awesome in your link in bio section. All you have to do is copy paste when you have your own, this is my template version, into your website. You copy paste that into your Instagram link in bio and boom, you're ready to go. Again, it pulls a lot of the features for you. So sites is awesome. Blogs, right, integrated into the system. Our website will have a couple blogs to get you started, and then if you want, we have a broker blogs semi-monthly package. It's paid. I believe it's $50 a month, or you can get our bundle up package too. Just let Buddy know if you're interested, where we send you all the templates, all our social media templates every Sunday. But creating a blog is really easy. It gives you a template to work off of, and you simply edit, add pictures, add videos. It's really, really slick. We've got lots of users using it already, and they said it's really easy to do. If you've got WordPress and you want to bring it over, this is an additional charge. It's $20 a month, and that's simply because it's a WordPress thing. So I can't really control that. But if you want some help, we can either add a subdomain to your existing WordPress, or we can integrate it through our new websites. So if you don't want to change your website right now, that's totally fine. Ask me and we'll help you do a workaround to keep your website where it is, but still kind of have it integrated in the system without even activating this. Okay. Client portal is awesome. If you're using SEO for the website, yes, there is. So website have a section here. Sorry, I'm just going a little back and forth as I look at some of the questions. I will have the SEO finished in here, but I'm not an SEO expert. We're gonna have one of those on our call in a couple of weeks. It has a really user-friendly, right here, SEO metadata. So you can click on this for each page and update the SEO. You can click on pictures and explain what they are. You know, what are they looking at here, which will help with the SEO, so that'll be in here. But you can kind of play through it. It's really easy to use, but the majority of what I know about SEO, because I'm no expert, I've only been doing this in the websites to help, and you can add pictures and whatnot from there. So going back to the membership area is really cool. If you're using Finmo, this membership area might not be as prevalent to you, but client portal. What's cool about it is it allows you to give your clients a custom portal. You can change this URL, or we can help you by kind of messing with your DNS settings so that it's more customizable. Really cool. Send the links to invite people to your portal or email, really user friendly. And behind the scenes, you get to control what this looks like, your settings, your domain setup, and the branding. And it's a great place. And I was watching a YouTube video. A good use case for this would be actually creating a lot of how-to videos, like what is a pre-approval? What is, what happens when you get an approval? When do I get to talk to the lawyer? Like any common frequently asked question. I was watching a mortgage broker, well, they're called loan officers in the States, use this portal to create basically a customer and realtor section. Like, look at all these videos you can have whenever you need them. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful use case for the client portal. Somewhere they can log in, ask questions, watch pre-recorded videos, courses, how to buy your first rental property. Maybe you want to get really into it with a realtor and create a really cool portal for people to use. So again, that feature right included. You don't have to have that other subscription to create courses or portals anymore. It's all in one spot. Your forms are here, really easy to build and use. You can copy some of the ones as we release them to you, or simply create a new one from scratch, or use a template, tons of templates to use, edit as you please. So great for that. Surveys, I quite like the surveys. Picture that more as a form, but it has like the next step. So you can really use that for, an example, we use it in a reverse mortgage, like, are you 55 plus? Yes, boom, goes to the next page. A little bit more interactive, capturing the client's information as they go, and when they hit submit, you now have a response or an automation triggered from there. So surveys are just as easy to create, and there's lots of templates and everything to choose from as well. So you can see here what I mean. This is a blank one, but choosing from the templates, it gives you lots of options too. Like, what do you want this survey to look for? So really awesome. Chat widget. The chat widget, probably one of my favorite features because it's going to have the most AI options in the future. And what will be cool about this is not only can you integrate a chat into your website, you can change the photo so that it's actually you. You can say, hey, in mine it says, hey, it's Sarah, how can I help? It'll welcome them back with a name if they come back to your website. You can change this, like for us, as we get our customer support and our 24/7 support for My Broker Pro, for you guys as clients, our live chat feature will be turned on so that you can actually talk with somebody instantly. But for now, for people and more for yourselves, it could just be like, have a question, text me here, and it'll actually ring your phone through your app or whatever it may be. And just while I'm on the subject, you can actually text and receive phone calls from your desktop browser too. Really, really cool. Widget window, this is what it's going to look like. So again, you can change the colors, change the responses, you can change what the button says, and acknowledgement settings. Thank you for sending us a message. Okay, but where this is going to get really cool is, I'm just going to skip to give you a little preview, is in the conversation AI. You can actually train your bot to whatever you want. And what's really cool about this is, I'm wondering if it's in this. Yeah. So what I did was I add WOA. We all know there's so much information on the WOA website for mortgages. And I'm actually just playing with this right now, but you can train your bot to ask any questions like, do I need 20% to, pardon my spelling, to buy a rental property? And let's see what the bot says. It kind of talks, it like takes a little bit, almost like as if somebody was writing a message, and then it responds. And the cool thing is, once it does respond, you can say, yes, I liked this answer, or no, I didn't like this answer. You'll need at least 5% down to buy a home under $5,000. So this one, we don't really like the answer of it because we're talking about a rental property, and if you're a mortgage broker, you know you need 20% for this. So you'd actually say, hey, no, I don't like that, and you're gonna train the bot on what to say. So in this case, you'd say, yes, when purchasing a rental property, you will require a minimum of 20% down. If you're interested in learning more, blah, 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 and then you hit train bot. And then you can reset the conversation and ask it again, and literally go through like all the things that you maybe know about mortgages and train this so that it can go into that chat feature I just showed you and do a lot of the conversation for you. And configure intents, which is really neat, is eventually as it's having a conversation with your client and it's fully trained, we obviously recommend you don't turn this on until it's trained. You can train the bot to say like, would you like to schedule a meeting to discuss further? So as the conversation goes on, you can pick which calendar it's going to send to and have an intent that the bot will send a meeting request to the client. You can even have it set the meetings up automatically in your calendar or have the client schedule it. So we're kind of going over our hour time, and like I said, I know there's so many features. I knew it would take longer than an hour. We had a bit of technical issues, so I'm just gonna kind of keep blabbing along, and if you're still with us, thank you. We will release the recording as well. Membership area is going to be really cool, especially for those brokers who are already doing lots of courses and they want people to navigate through a step-by-step course. A little bit of a confusing name tag here. Products is where the courses go. So you can create a product from scratch or import it if you're using a different system. From scratch, it actually gives you templates to use from and where to kind of start. Build your own would be really, but if you wanted to do like a marathon course, which is like pretty in-depth about something, you can actually steal the structure of this and send it off to your clients, your realtors, or if you're selling courses to other brokers, you can have it here. If you've seen this before, it's very similar to competitors, and it allows you to even track when people sign into the membership courses, where they're at and whatnot, send them emails to congratulate them on finishing. It's so amazing. So again, you can charge for these courses or put them for free. A really cool use case would be creating, a first-time homebuyer course or how to buy rental property courses, anything that relates to your specific field if you have like a niche, and ask a realtor to do it with you. Like, talk about a way to build a relationship, but sit down for a weekend and build a course together and then try to promote it together. You're talking about probably a long-lasting referral partner right there. So details, customized certificates, anything you want in here. It's really great and interactive. Communities is very similar to like a private Facebook group almost. You can create different, kind of like a Slack channel as well. Like, you can create different chats in different areas of the group and go back and forth if you wanted to kind of create that group and that community. Certificates is kind of funny. If you finish our account setup course, you'll get a certificate from me, and I tried to make it funny. Hopefully you think it's funny. So reputation, really cool. Once your Google is integrated, you can, this is just our test account, but you can send requests from here. As soon as you receive a request back, you'll get it as in your app as a notification. You can reply to the request from within the app as well. You don't even have to log into Google My Business. So again, being able to use everything in just one spot is going to be huge. Sending request here, you can put this into some automations in the future. You can review them here. You have a widget you can send people, add to your website, all sorts of great tools to use in this section as well. It has an AI feature. I haven't explored this, I'll be honest, but it does have an AI feature. If you're getting like a ton of Google reviews, which obviously is the goal, you can have like responses and stuff too. But obviously I encourage you to be interactive with your clients too. We don't want to be 100% robots. Okay, so I see they're having some issues putting some of the links in the chat. I'll add them after, and I'll send them in some of the emails as we send you guys the recordings. Reporting is just going to be as you have some of your Facebook ads, Google My Business, anything like that. This just shows you what it's capable of. This is just sample data, but it says here, click here if you want to integrate your account. You can totally do that, and our SEO ad expert who's joining us in a couple of weeks will hopefully go through this, because he actually uses this for his clients and how this reports, and yeah, really great overview of what's going on in some of your social accounts for lead generation. At Marketplace, I kind of touched on this at the beginning of the webinar. This is additional features. You'll see here if it says free or paid. I have no control over that. These are things that you can further integrate into the MyBroker Pro system, which again is a white label version of Go High Level. But you can see there's lots of 21 pages of additional things that you can integrate with it to make it even better than it already is. The hub will bring you right to our courses. So I encourage you guys to sign up for the free course area. And as we create free courses, they'll pop up in here. You can go here and take a course, choose a different one. We have one we're working on that has to do with you and realtors partnering together to like get more leads. So again, lots of great things you can go here and sign up for. And while we're in this one, we do have an affiliate program that'll be launching in the future. So as, again, that becomes available, we will share that with you guys. Let's move on. Settings. Okay, so this, I do go through this in really great detail in that account setup course, because again, I do believe in setting up your account properly the first time. And that includes adding your address and things that will be able to pull behind the scenes to create all those websites and automations for you, so that it says, hey, it's Sarah, how's it going? You know, like these are values that are really important. So we encourage you guys to go through that account setup, or when our onboarding specialist is ready, to set up a call with him to make sure you're set up properly behind the scenes in this settings section. So again, it's really user-friendly. You can go through here, and again, in my account setup, I even go as far as to show you how to create an MP3 file and a free website you can use to do this. And you're like, hey, this is Sarah, sorry I missed your call. Please leave me a message, whatever it is you choose. I give you a script to use and everything. I'm making it really easy to add a voicemail setting, which is great. And you can go through all these details here. Profile is going to be about you specifically, and that's important because you can see here I have my staff. As you add people, you get the option to add them as an admin or as a user. So if they're a user, obviously they're not going to have access to like your company billing and all that kind of stuff. So you can set up your admin assistant, social media assistant, whatever it may be, and integrate that. They can put in their own Google Meet calendars, their own hours of availability, their email signatures, all sorts of stuff. Billing is where I encourage you, it doesn't show you any of the data here, but you can see some of my test purchases. This is where it'll show if you've activated your $10 USD. Again, gets credited right back into your account so that you can start using some of those SMS charges. Staff is where you're gonna wanna add an employee, and then you get to give them all the user roles permission of what they're allowed to see or do, so you can really restrict that for them if you want. We kind of already touched in pipelines, but you can create different pipelines. Calendars, conversation we talked about. WhatsApp, not something we use a ton in Canada, or at least me, but it is really popular in other ones. This is to get like a business WhatsApp. Of course, WhatsApp is free, but if you want to integrate WhatsApp into your business, you can explore this. To be honest, I haven't yet because it's not something I use a ton. Okay, so I'm gonna skip through the majority of these. Other than tags is what we talked about earlier about having different tags, and I will give you a list of these, like new lead, realtor, the realtor's name, rental property or renewal, so that you have like a searchable function of like which clients are where, who do they come from, are they up for renewal anytime soon. You'll have a really good filter system. So pretty much every person you add into your system should have a tag. So something you want to think through thoroughly. Of course, like I said, we'll give you a list of these. This is our test account, but of what we would suggest to have to help you through some of the functionalities of this. And then lastly, I'm going to go over custom values. So custom values is what we are going to use, and we're going to create, well, we have created a form that you're just going to go through, like that survey one, and you're going to give us, if you're going to sign up with us, a list of these links. So you're like, this is my discovery meeting link. Of course, we want you to create a calendar in this, so that should change. But if you don't, you want to use Zoom or whatever it is, we can add specific things if you're not utilizing all the features just yet. You know, favicon is that little, logo that shows up on your website and stuff like that, which is important. That's your brand. So, hey, send us a picture of your logo. We're going to add that into your favicon. What's your Facebook link? All these things, so that as soon as I enter that will literally populate all of those automations, websites, and everything with what you provided me. So again, one step you won't have to do, because we're going to import it for you kind of like that. So your login link. So again, this doesn't have to be Finmo. This could be any other software as of right now, and we will work on further pipeline management with softwares outside of Finmo, but right now it's just Finmo for those. So you can see I have quite a list here, and we're adding to this every day as we create these amazing workflows and funnels and automations. We want to make sure that you're not having to go into every single one to add your links and change it to suit you. We will be doing it behind the scenes. So this might look like, what is this? It's actually more for us, but it's to show you how important it is to provide us the information you want so that we can integrate you into the system really easily. So again, I encourage you to navigate to the bottom and go to the hub and start the course to do your account setup, and we'll be sure to notify you guys as soon as if there's any new courses that come out, but also like as our onboarding specialist is ready to take live calls, any new features that come out, and of course our next webinars. Our plan is to do a weekly webinar. Today we went over by 20 minutes, but a weekly webinar of about an hour to go through this live, answer questions, do all sorts of things with you guys and teach you, because we know it's an overwhelming platform. But as you navigate it and learn, trust me, it becomes so simple and so powerful. You're gonna be like, wow, I can't believe I can get rid of literally 15 subscriptions with one. That's how I felt anyways when we did that. And yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to take a little break, and I'm just gonna check the chat box for some questions. Okay, I figured I'd come back on and show you guys what I'm looking at, because this will be a cool feature you guys can use in the future as well. And again, I'll make some training on this, but it is utilizing a feature that's called OBS, and it links like your desktop to YouTube Live, and this is the chat feature. So as you guys are chatting through YouTube Live, I'm actually being able to see it just through this window, and see what's going on. So obviously I see all the issues we were having with the quarter screen. Glad we fixed that. Now I'll show you guys how to do that later. Somebody was asking about Canva. Will we be able to use this with Velocity? Yes, I realize Velocity has its own CRM, but again, from experience, you're definitely going to want, even if it's not our platform, as one broker to another, you're going to want to make sure that you have that separated from your brokerage in some sense. Trust me, it'll be worth the additional membership or the extra payment you have to make to save you headaches and losing thousands of contacts, workflows. Anything you've taken the time to create, trust me, can be kind of taken away with the snap of a finger if you decide to make a change, or if it's not working for you. Even if you decide, hey, I like this platform as a mortgage software, might not work necessarily great as a CRM software, right? So you definitely want to consider that as far as being a mortgage broker. Jesse asked about the free training. So the free training will be kind of diving in. We're going to get more specific on per topic. So today we did a huge overview of what's available in the system, and then we'll be doing, like, our next one will be on ads and funnels, and we'll actually have an SEO expert join us. He will kind of show us just specifically that, and I'm sure I will learn a ton as well. So you're not going to want to miss that one. We plan to do them once per week. I'll be sure to share the calendar with maximum, X amount of spots per seats. And again, I see Jesse had a future question about that. Will we be able to do live webinars and stuff on ours too? Yeah, certainly. This is all done through my platform. I'll show you how to put it on your website so that the webinar is hosted on your website, which I think is really important because people are now navigating to your website. People are always like, my website does nothing for me, but it's because you have to make it functional so that people are landing there, which helps you kind of rank. And hopefully our SEO experts listening, and maybe that makes sense. This is all stuff I've just read, but we want people to land in your website, right? So, and capture that information too. So it does have the option to create webinars right through the calendar link. So if you're using Zoom or Google Meet, you can use that, but I'll also show you how to use YouTube Live integrated to your website too. So again, if you guys know me, you know I love to learn new things and share them. So stay tuned because it'll be a steep learning curve for me too. I know that I must have skipped over it, but somebody was asking, does it integrate with Canva? And I would imagine that has to do with the social media part of it in the marketing section. You can't directly post to Canva. And if you know me, I really like the Metricool tool that I was using prior to us moving our clients over to this system. Metricool is awesome. It only does social media, so its capabilities are quite a bit beyond what this high level one is. That said, this one has some further capabilities to integrate into your social media as far as like ads and connections and all sorts of the conversations tab that I showed you, like some really cool features that way, but it doesn't have the ability to post from Canva to, we'll call it My Broker Pro multi-tool, but behind the scenes high level. It doesn't have that capability. I'm going to say yet, because high level is releasing crazy updates every single week. So maybe that's something that's coming soon or that we could suggest, because it is a great platform, and Canva is pretty intuitive as well to connect with things directly. But as far as what we do, Dee manages all of our social media clients on here. You can simply upload as a JPEG, a photo, an MP4 video, or however you're doing it currently, and do it right into the system here. Has a CSV format if you want to bulk upload, just like you can do in other platforms. So lots of really cool things there to explore. I'm going to put it in one of our follow-up emails too, but if you're looking for resources like, Sarah, this is all cool, but I want to start now, and I want to learn, and I want to find something specific, go on YouTube, go on High Level, all sorts of places. There is literally thousands of videos about this stuff, and so much cool learning opportunities and what it can do and how you can use it for your business. So definitely encourage you to do your own research. Each feature is pretty much, oh, sorry, Buddy already answered. See, he's the best. Love the templates. Ground Zero CRM, absolute basics, spreadsheet. Raymond, I am with you. When I started, I was like the spreadsheet queen. And everything was manual entry, and I made my husband, when he joined, go into our spreadsheet and update it. But as you know, anything manual can get messy really quick, especially as you become busy. Like right now, when you're new, I'm not going to say you should be using a spreadsheet, even if anything as a backup, because it keeps, everything organized in your brain. But it's hard for people as you get busy to get integrated with your spreadsheet, and you forget to upload something or update something or change something or move somebody from one section to another, because it's manual and it requires manual interaction from whoever's using and updating this spreadsheet. There's so much room for error. So yes, we will have, entry level ones. Like for example, I know you're with Finmo, so Finmo, we will have just a basic pipeline management with the basic welcome emails. And if you want to get crazy and go into further, you can just use a different template. And again, we'll be here to support you with that as you make those transitions. But yes, you can definitely start at a basic, and we'll hopefully help you with that. So when you have ideas, you're like, I can't figure this out, either reach out to us or say, Sarah, can you create a video on how to do this? And I'd happily make a Loom video or add it to our training. Talked about SMS. I think Buddy must have answered. He mentioned new Twilio number. You can use an existing one. We just have to open up that feature on our end, on the administrative side, to allow you to import your existing Twilio number. I would imagine that's what you're doing. If you're using a CRM now and you're like, I have a number, but it's not Twilio, chances are, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but chances are behind the scenes it is a Twilio number. So if you look even at ours, and when we navigated to the phone section, it didn't say Twilio anywhere, but behind the scenes that's what it is. It's one of the major players in the game, so that's likely the case with yours as well. If we run into any issues, obviously we can explore that together. The other systems, Velocity, Expert, Filogix, a lot of them have the ability to hook up what's called an API or a REST hook. And I know that's more of developer terms and not something you have to worry about. But hopefully within, I'll say within a month or two, we have the rest of the systems integrated. If you're one of those users and you're like super eager to get going, reach out. We could definitely start the process with you. It's just we wouldn't want to launch any of the automations right off the bat, because things take testing before we just launch them. So for the first time we integrate with Expert, we're happy to do so, but we definitely behind the scenes need to ensure you're ready to go before we start blasting out emails and text messages. Thank you everybody for all the nice comments. You guys are the best. Future training courses. A limit to the amount of contacts and communications sent out. To my knowledge, no, Shelly, but I'm going to look into that after this. Oh, Buddy answered. There you go. You can send up to 10,000 emails per month. The one thing I'm going to caution you about that is you do have to check your provider. If you're with Google or a different type of provider for the email behind the scenes, even though this is linked together, you will have to adhere to whatever their maximums are as well. So for example, for this webinar functionality, if I use Google Meet, the system itself, Go High Level, can have, I think it was up to 1,000 or 999 users or something like that. That said, my Google limitations is 150 in my account. So don't be fooled sometimes by if one system will allow another and the other system restrict it. It's kind of like default insurance. The default insurer says they'll do it, but the lender says no. So it's kind of the same way. We obviously are tying into multiple systems here, so take that lightly, but we can definitely look into that for you. So with that, everyone, what I'm going to say is say my goodbyes and thank you all so much for joining. And I can't wait to release the recording and kind of get going on some more courses and training and updates and And like I said, I'll be sure to reach out to everybody as things progress. So I obviously appreciate all of your guys' support in this new venture of us trying to kind of give brokers the tools that they need all under one roof. And we hope to not only save you guys a ton of subscriptions, but save you guys time. You know, I'm a mom and I know what it's like to be a mortgage broker. I used to do 44 million in sales per year, and that could be like 14 hours of work by the time you're catching up with emails and you're doing all sorts of things. Sometimes it really takes away from that personal life too. So I'm hoping that these automations will not only grow your business with your referral partners and your clients, but also in your personal life as well. So again, feel free to shoot me a message if you're looking for something specific, and we'll hopefully see you in the next webinar. Bye everyone.